Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this channel. Hope you're doing good. Now, let's talk about the Madlanga Commission. Let's talk about the storm inside the SAPS, that institution that is tasked with protecting us as a nation. Let's take a little deep dive into everything surrounding the Madlanga Commission. At the center is General Fannie Masemola, the National Policing Commissioner, and Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya. These two were once colleagues, now adversaries in court, and both deeply entangled in the unfolding work of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. But what is this really about? Is this a fight for truth, accountability, and justice? Or is this just a chess match over survival, power, and who will ultimately carry the blame? The Madlanga Commission has one unusual feature. Anyone who testifies they cannot have their self-incriminating testimony used against them in a court of law. That means you can admit to wrongdoing, you can admit to corruption or complicity in political killings, and while it may damage your reputation, the state cannot prosecute you based on that admission alone. On the one hand, this encourages truth-telling without fear. But on the other hand, it risks becoming a shield for the powerful, a stage where wrongdoers can confess, cleanse their image, and walk away untouched. So we must ask, is the commission designed to reveal the truth or to absorb political heat while shielding the guilty? Now, the question is it possible that the clash between Masemola and Sibiya is driven by the immunity loophole in the commission? Could it be that the standoff between the two is rooted in the protection offered by that commission or that loophole in the commission? Now, with those questions in mind, let's talk about Masemola's urgency. General Fannie Masemola seems intended on acting now, pushing forward disciplinary and criminal processes without waiting for the commission. And you ask ourselves why. Is it possible that he's thinking that if he acts now, the evidence and testimonies collected outside the commission can still be used in court? And if he waits, much of what might come out in the commission could become legally useless in prosecutions. Acting now also gives him control of the narrative, painting himself as a decisive leader who's cleaning house. But here's the risk. If he miscalculates, he may be seen as abusing power to eliminate rivals, turning him into the face of political interference in the police services. Let's talk about Sibiya's calculated resistance. Now, Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya, on the other hand, is insisting that matters should wait for the commission. The commission provides him with a platform to clear his name under structured public roles. The immunity provisions means that anything he admits cannot later be used against him. By challenging Masemola's suspension order in court, he casts himself as the victim of a witch hunt. Now, the stakes here are not just about the two police bosses. They speak to the soul of South Africa's policing. Is the commission simply a pressure valve where names will be dropped but justice never delivered? Or will it become a blueprint for rebuilding a broken justice system? And if Masemola or Sibiya wins, what happens next? If Masemola wins, he consolidates power within the police service. Disciplinary action against Sibiya could set a precedent that the National Commissioner still holds decisive authority. But politically, he risks becoming the lightning rod if the commission later reveals systematic failures. He will be seen as the one who buried the truth by rushing processes. Now, if Sibiya wins, his reinstatement weakens Masemola's grip and exposes his decision as potentially unlawful. The commission becomes his battleground to challenge Masemola's authority and cast himself as the scapegoat of institutional rot. But his victory could embolden other senior officers to resist accountability, hiding behind the commission as a shield. With all that said, we are left with piercing questions. Is Masemola's urgency about justice or about self-preservation before the commission ties his hands? Is Sibiya seeking truth and fairness or merely exploiting the commission's immunity as an escape hedge? Will the commission unearth real accountability, or will it go down as another carefully staged political theater, shielding the guilty while scapegoats are chosen? At its core, this showdown is not just about two individuals. It's about whether South Africa's institutions still have the capacity to deliver the truth and to deliver justice, or whether commissions, suspensions, and court battles are just the smoke screens behind which power games are played. Masemola knows that if damning evidence only surfaces inside the commission, it's toothless for prosecution, and that means corruption, cover ups, or failure could be exposed without legal consequences. So, by moving now, suspending Sibiya, and insisting on action before the commission sits, he ensures that evidence gathered outside the commission's protective walls can still be actioned. He avoids being cornered later by accusations that he did nothing while waiting. For him, the loophole is a threat for justice and possibly for his own credibility. Sibiya sees the same loophole, but from the opposite angle. The commission is a safe stage. He can argue his case, even admit to failures or mistakes without those words ever being used in court. By delaying Masemola's actions and pushing everything into the commission's arena, he buys protection, he buys time, and a chance to recast himself as a victim of scapegoating rather than a culprit. For him, the loophole is a shield against suspension, prosecution, or career ending disciplinary action. The answers will not only shape the future for Masemola and Sibiya, they may very well determine whether the Madlanga Commission goes down in history as a moment of reckoning or as another expensive exercise in scapegoating. Please tell us your thoughts down in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel.